And welcome to our episode 3 review and analysis of the third season of Squid Games. Game 5 started, and Miss Yang is dead. She killed herself. She committed suicide. I, 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 I I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about her because they didn't show it to us. It just came all of a sudden, which I understand because they wanted to keep it family friendly and all of that. But I I kind of didn't like the monologue she gave 456 before that. I felt it was a little boring, and it didn't make sense as to why she killed her son. So she doesn't acknowledge that she killed her son, so at least that's a good thing. But I just feel it was a little bit of bad writing, and I feel it's kind of showing the bad writing in these episodes, how like the things are flowing. I think it's because they just didn't have time to to work to work everything out, because if you think about it, they ended up dividing this into 2 seasons, and I think it's because the second part of this season just or the second part, which is season 3, they just became they were just late in things because maybe they pressed themselves too much in time, or they spent a lot of time on something else early on, which is very common. But it's showing that they were just rushing things. The writing isn't like that good. There's a lot of mistakes. I feel the momentum is just coming from the word building, which is fine, and from some of the characters that maybe they spend a lot of time on characters, but other than that, I'm kind of losing interest. Like the only reason I'm pushing forward is because I want to know what's gonna happen, not because of like, yeah, not like season 1, obviously. But yeah, what's your take on that? Okay. Yeah. There was probably some problem in the production. I'm sure of that. Interesting. Or maybe they just thought within the time frame they could make a season as good as season 1. No, that's impossible. Like they didn't think about the first season. It took 10 years to write. I don't know, but no, that's a good point. They were like, okay, we have 2 seasons right now, but apparently they don't have enough material to write 2 seasons, so they just stretch out. Okay, make it work. Maybe that's why there's a lot of exposition in all those monologues I'm not liking. It's because maybe they were expecting. They would expect no, maybe no. That's not how I saw it. But it is in reference to what you said. Maybe they were expecting, let's say, 10 episodes, but now they are forced to do 13, so they have to add a lot of nonsense. It ruined it. It's fine. We're still kind of enjoying it. I still want to watch. Yeah, but you have the baby. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. Thanos. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, yeah. It's an interesting though moral decision. I'll give it to them because let's say you're in his place, in the place of 456. You either have to just watch him kill everybody else, or you have to kill him. So yeah, and it's like, and if you have to kill him, you have to do it like in a what do you call it, cheap shot way when he has his back to you. So it's like an interesting moral decision. Like if you think about it, yeah, it's like because we look at all these things, we're like, oh, they're just trying to kill each other. But if we put ourselves there, it's like, okay, what should I do? Like, I guess this is something we should have talked about in the previous episode when they were in the maze. Like, would you prefer being red or blue? Right? Oh, really? But think about no, think about it from a moral perspective. The moral side is blue because you can win without killing anybody. But if you're red, you have to kill somebody to win. So if you were trying to be a moral person, what? Not kill. Yeah, but no, no. Yes, you can. Yeah, no, you can just hide by yourself. You can. I mean, exact. But it's still, if even if you take people with you, that's also something that's morally correct, right? Generally, like, yeah. So if you're like, let's say, there, if you're trying to just think about self-preservation, you might just wanna be red, but the moral decision, if you think about it, is blue. Because then you technically can survive without killing anybody, and you're all. And if someone tries to attack you and you kill them, that's self-defense. So that's still something morally acceptable. But it's just, in this case with and outnumbered, yeah, and if you're like smaller and you don't have any training, and yeah, 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 like maybe for us, cause like you have training. I'm a little tall. Maybe for us it's fine, but for the, let's say if it's someone who's like 5'1" and yeah, oh my god, no, I would imagine what their moral decision would be. Uh, no, that's a good point. So yeah, but back to episode 3 now. 456 has to make this moral decision. He's obviously gonna try probably to kill that guy, and then evil. Yeah, I have to do something about. I, obviously, because you have also the moral obligation to help people when someone's acting stupid, and yeah. So this is interesting, but also interesting the how 222 is gonna, what's gonna happen to 222. Like, oh, I mean, for me, the only thing that makes sense is that if she grabs the rope and throughout the whole time she's just moving forward while the rope is moving. But I don't know. Exactly. So she has to stay above it the whole time, which is hard because of the momentum. Yeah, but I don't think for anyone can carry her and jump while carrying her. Like I know she's probably not that. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, 3 more episodes and one more game. I, 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 yeah, who else do we have? We still have the mom and MG Coin, MG coin, and this is it. And the billionaire guy. Look at he's so annoying. He's like, some, yeah. I mean, it's not me. I have nothing to do with it. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. 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 He's like, somebody has to go first. And they're like, okay, you go first then. Like, uh, yeah, yeah, that was nice. Oh, there's still him as well. Yeah. Oh, oh, you're one of those. You like flashbacks and like, I hate flashbacks. Yeah. and, and dream sequences. Oh my god, I hate dream sequences. Like, if you show me, nice. Definitely. Try. Ch- change the script. Uh, but yeah, back to your point about the shy guy and the cross and the yeah, yeah. He still have one pill though. We'll see what it does. I hope it does something. I don't know. I mean, all the pills they didn't really do anything throughout this whole games and okay. I would give it that there was this one point where Thanos took a pill and he was like dancing when it was the circles. That was funny, but other than that, all the pills they took are like, okay, okay, you get it. One of the writers probably likes drugs. Okay, we know that. uh, uh, yeah, but yeah, you were asking about the mom. I feel like again back to what we said in episode 2, how they need to focus on one story. So the important story right now is the baby, the mom, and 456, and everything else is just getting ready for this moment. So I hope they don't spend too much time on the guy who's killing others and like on the billionaire and all of that, because all I want to know is what she's gonna do. 222. Maybe she makes it, but her boyfriend dies trying to. Nah. I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like he can't carry her. I just want to know how it happens. Like maybe the boyfriend and 456 carry her and they jump together. I don't know. I'm thinking about it that way. Or I mean, it doesn't make sense to kill them both in the same episode. Yeah. I'm just surprised the baby didn't cry when he was holding it. Obviously, I mean, yeah, that part didn't really make sense to me, but I'll give it to them. It's okay. Like I don't expect. Uh, but but no, I'll give this scene to them, even though it doesn't make sense how he was able to pass the bridge while holding a baby. And yeah, but it ruins the momentum and like center of gravity and all of that. So okay, yeah, yeah. So, which is what we will see with 222. Yeah. You didn't tell me your take on the early part of the episode when she was talking to 456, and then we noticed that she commits suicide. All of that. How do you feel about it? Because I wasn't really into that part. Yeah. Did you feel like you were intrigued with the monologue she made, or were you bored like me? Uh, when she was talking about her son and like she killed him and all of that. Exactly. Okay. I just need to make sure I'm not being overly critiquing the. As a- so it is bad writing. Yeah. So we had like 24 when the game started, and now. So now, how many people died? So we had two. Yeah, two. The drugs guy and the guy who fell. Yeah. Uh, does 456 die? So that's a good question. Um, I mean, I don't. It's hard to predict when there's that inconsistent writing across, because I feel like they're just gonna throw a random ending to it. I hope they don't do that, but okay, yeah, yeah. 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 Okay, hold on. Now I can answer your question. Remember, because they're close to finding the island, the others, the part of the story that we don't care about. That's why we forgot about it, because it's like, oh my god, it's so bad writing. But no, this, I'll give it to them. In this episode, was the writing of this part was a little better when he went to his house and discovers a bunch of stuff. I'll give it to them. It's not wow, but it's better than the last episode. So I think because have access to the island and there's all these witnesses, I feel maybe this will lead to something with the games. I don't know. Maybe like a head to head. Like it will create chaos, obviously, in the games, and maybe 456 will act accordingly. Maybe he sacrifices himself for the greater good to end the games at the end. Yeah, maybe he dies. Maybe they kill him. Oh yeah, that's right. There's the North Korean girl. Yeah, North Korean girl. So here what happened in this episode. Let's talk about it from a writing perspective. In a writing perspective, you don't want more than three stories happening. So hold on. Let me finish my take, and then you can respond. Okay. So when you're writing a TV series, usually you want story A in an episode, story B, and story C. If you go to D and E, it becomes too much, and it will become too much for the viewers. Which is, I think, what happened in episode 2, where they tried to divide the maze into many stories and it didn't work out. So in this episode, they were able to do it much better because they did A, B, C in a consistent way. So A is mostly the game, and it's mostly about 456 and the 222 and the baby interaction. And then B is the boat, and then C is the North Korean girl. So this is why I felt that here they were doing a much better job, because I've seen a lot of times they try to make four stories, five stories in one episode. The flow doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It becomes like things are happening randomly and you're not catching up. So I think that's what happened in episode 2, where they made each character their own story. That's why I didn't. I like we mentioned, it should have been the trans character story. But yeah, go ahead. How do you feel about that? But that's a book, right? Uh, it's a okay. So but I'm talking from an episodic perspective. Yeah. No, like, you can have multiple storylines, but each episode must have at max three stories. I don't remember an episode I've ever watched where it had more than three stories and it worked in one episode. Okay. So it's probably like, probably like story D and E were like one scene and they just keep flowing. It's not like, yeah, yeah, if that makes sense. But it's always like A and B is sometimes enough. A lot of times, if you remember with when we were reviewing She-Hulk a couple years ago, it was always A and B, and they were doing a really good job because they were connecting the two stories eventually at some point. Like the lawyer here is talking to the lawyer there or something. So you don't need more than three, and I feel that's why episode two just didn't wasn't up to the expectations. How did you? Oh, how did you feel about the VIPs? Oh, really? But do you think it was dubbed really, or you just? Okay, okay. That's exactly all the memes that I got on my Twitter. I wanted to ask you because I'm not familiar that much with voice acting. So why would you say that? Why would you say their voice acting was bad? Okay, so was that voice acting or they were actually speaking? Like the okay, okay. So why would you? Okay, so okay, okay. I, this is another take on the another bad take on the production. Like, why is there so many bad stuff happening? Like bad writing, bad. Yeah, I'm trying to think why would that happen? Maybe because they didn't have any like English speaking actors in Korea when they were trying to cast. Okay, okay, maybe maybe that was the case then. They just hired white people who live in Korea. And they got to be on Netflix. There they are, and we're here in LA just unemployed. Uh, yeah, when the opportunity is there, you never know. It is. Take it, take it, just take it. No, that makes sense. Yeah, lots of issues with the production. Probably again what we said. They were just rushing, and maybe it was just a money grab. Who knows? Maybe they were like, "Oh, season one did good. Let's just do season two. Whatever it comes, I don't care. Just let it go." Yeah. uh, yeah, someone's laughing at the chat. The best thank, aka Henry. He's like, lol. No, it's good. We have people who resonate with what we're saying. So it is funny. It is sad as well, but it is what it is. Maybe I can share like the acting classes that I took as a non-native English speaker, and the way you want to approach acting with your native language is completely different than when it's your in your non-native language. I noticed that if I want to do stuff in English, I have to be committed to the script and rehearsed a lot in order for me to get an actable an actable character, because I cannot do improv when I speak English. So, and because sometimes you have strategies when you're acting, you want to include some improv or like some reactions to stuff. I couldn't do that. The voice would not come out, like the way I'm speaking is not out there. So what I had to do is that I had to make sure the scene is always perfected and like memorized word by word. If I want to add something, I make sure it's part of the practice. Like I cannot add it suddenly in the when I'm shooting. So maybe maybe that's the reason that we just had really bad VIP actors. That's I mean I saw a lot of memes about it on social media. Everyone was just like trashing their acting. I didn't want to say anything because I was just kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt, or something. Because yeah. But that's the whole point. Like this is what happens again. Like and in one class we did learn how to do one-liners, and we focused on that for some time. And the whole idea is that when you have a one-liner or when you have a small scene throughout the whole show, you're basically requested to pull the whole effort on just this one scene. And it yeah, but it's not like it's that much. Like you don't want to overstress it. Like you don't want to like you don't think I want to put all of my acting into this one scene. No, that's all you have. It's fine. Just and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because it just makes your job a little easier if you think about it. Because that's all you have to worry about. But again, maybe they just ran out of time. They just like picked people right from the street. They're like, come on, just say those few lines and leave. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Because if you think about it, in season two, you could see the effort and the production, especially with the party scene. If you remember the party scene, and the club, that was a lot of effort. And when you compare the two seasons, I'm like, wait. So maybe that's what happened. They just spend a lot of time on the first part of the first part of the games, and then they were like, "Uh oh, we're running out of time, everyone." We maybe it was supposed to be one season, and they end up splitting it because they ran out of time. So they were like, "Let's edit the first few episodes while we shoot the other ones." That would have been really bad, though. But it is it is what it is. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Just preparing us for episode 6. That's it. Uh, uh, I keep thinking about it, like, cause when season 1 finished and the guy was became famous and all of that, and he won all these awards, the writer, I feel that. I mean, obviously, you get a little lazy after you get successful because you're like, hey, I got it, and you don't have the motivation. But maybe he just started delegating some of his work to the other writers. And that is the issue with basically everything that happens more than one time is that okay, I don't want to start from scratch. I'll just delegate it to somebody who's actually much less talented than me. I'll just tell them what to do and hope they do it the same way I did it. But yeah, yeah, I feel that's the issue here. Another issue actually, including everything else we just mentioned. Any final comments? Some of them are gonna die anyway because the captain is no, no, because the captain is the captain's gonna interfere before they get there anyway. So no, I think he was just remembering something that happened in season 1. Yeah. So I feel that with obviously after the cops put the guy they caught in jail and he tells them the whole story about the games and blah 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 blah. That will we will be waiting for that to connect with the boat and then something to happen. But again, I hope I care as much as I should be, but I care mostly about the games, and let's hope the games are up to the expectation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any questions in the chat before we call it a day? There's a 30-second delay to the chat, but I'll give it time because I made sure there's a delay between the stream and when we talk, so that the quality is good. Yeah. So any final questions or comments, or you can just say hello. That's fine. We'll say hello back. Okay. It doesn't seem we have anything, but okay. And the stream and okay. This is it, everyone.